Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Doria. Watch the game live and our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app for just 99 pesos a month, available for download on Google Play or the App Store.
And that is a deal. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Now, in just 10 days, the Philippines will host the biggest basketball event of the year. Excited fans have been buzzing about every update on the FIBA World Cup. So let's get the latest on Gilas Pilipinas from SPP President Sir Al Panlilio.
In general, I think we're in much better shape. Obviously, they've been practicing longer. They went to Europe, they went to China. So yung core team mo, are pretty good in terms of fitness. No? Jordan naman is also fit. So Scotty lang, I think, is fit, but it's more of game time type experience because he's been away, not playing. Kai, I think, is really more fitness that we want him to work on. So hopefully the last 10 days would be a focus on better fitness, not only for the two of them, but for everybody. So discipline, diba? So discipline themselves to make sure that they're ready to battle on starting August 25.
Now that we've heard the latest from SBP President Al Panlilio, we look ahead to the Gilas Pilipinas Final 12. And with us to talk about his Final 12 wish list for the 2023 FIBA World Cup is basketball analyst Coach Willie Wilson. And kitang-kita natin, all the fans are excited. And Coach Willie, with his new hairdo, also excited for the World Cup. Coach Willie, welcome back to the game.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm a head coach now, so I figured that this might be my last chance to grow my hair out before I start losing it, so I said, why not?
I'm pretty sure you're going to keep it.
It's going to turn gray. It's going to turn gray really quick. And first of all, congratulations on that gig. You're now the head coach of Xavier boys basketball. Really excited for what you're going to do there.
Of course. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Final 12, but this is not the official 12.
Yes.
So for everyone trying to, look for the Final 12, trying to figure out, wala pa, guys. But Coach Willie has his wish list. So Willie wish list is back. And first on your list, Coach, this is kind of interesting. Calvin Oftana right there. Of course, we all know, JC's going to be in there. Dwight Ramos, the June Mars, but Calvin Oftana, why him, Coach?
Okay, everybody knows when we're talking about international basketball, what is key is outside shooting, and Calvin Oftana gives so much of that. And the prerequisite of a versatile player, he can play the two internationally.
Right.
We know he's athletic enough to play a small ball, possibly four, definitely a three at 6'5", and just that mixture of size, versatility, athleticism with the outside shooting. I think he should be a great fit for somebody that needs to make that team.
You mentioned the size, you mentioned the athleticism. So you also mentioned a Jamie Malonzo, but he's a guy that I don't think a lot of people would be surprised if he gets in the team, if he gets in the Final 12. I want to focus, though, on this other guy that you mentioned, AJ Edu, who made his senior debut in China just a few weeks ago. He's impressed you enough already to get a slot in your potential Final 12. Why so?
Well, I've been impressed with AJ Edu even before the injuries, the pre-Toledo stint. This is a guy that 6'9", 6'10", very athletic, and an improving outside shot, which again, I talk about the lack of ceiling that historically this Gilas program has had. So you throw in an AJ Edu who brings ceiling at that 6'9", 6'10" height, but as well as athleticism. This guy can run up and down the court. I talked about the improving jump shot. You've seen him knock down a few three-point shots. He's going to keep the defense honest and help us to compete height-wise in this FIBA tournament.
Well, Coach, if talking about AJ Edu, do you think it's going to be a factor that he wasn't part of the other, qualifiers in the other windows? He was just here in the China exhibition games. Is that a factor for the coaches to look at when looking at AJ Edu?
Definitely that will be a factor because you want to speak about familiarity, guys that have played together. But then that's why you put together the best coaching staff for this World Cup with obviously head coach Chot Reyes, and then you got the greatest PBA coach of all time, Tim Cohn there. So many great coaching minds on that staff. I don't think it's going to be a problem incorporating AJ Edu into the lineup and getting him meshing well with his teammates, again, because of these great coaching minds.
Yeah, so the last one here on AJ Edu before we move on. You take a look at AJ and just mention his profile, around 6'10", athletic. Kind of reminds me of a Japet Aguilar just by listing all of that. But of course, Japet a bit older. Japet also recovering from a few injuries himself.
Yes.
Just how is that competition right now looking for that spot in the big man rotation for Gilas Pilipinas when you take a look at AJ Edu's inclusion into this mix?
Well, I don't think it's considered competition. I think they can complement each other. You talked about the comparison. Yes, height-wise, maybe athleticism-wise, but AJ Edu has a three-point shot that Japet never really developed consistently in the international game. As we know that Japet is very athletic, mainly known as a rim finisher.
Right.
I'm not saying he doesn't have that shot. He just never really put it out on display. And AJ Edu, at this juncture already, has shown that he can knock down that shot.
And talking about another big on your wish list, I mean,
Everyone's been talking about this guy.
it won't be a Willie wish list without, takes like these, but Kai Soto is in there. He played in the other qualifying rounds, in the other windows, but he's coming off an injury, not a lot of practice time leading up to the World Cup. Why is Kai Soto in your wish list, Coach? Of course, aside from him being 7'2", 7'3".
Yeah, I could give you 73 reasons. 7'3", and again, I talked about the prerequisites to be competitive in the World Cup and on the international stage. It's height and it's shooting,
Right.
and he gives you both of that. We know that he has the height at 7'3". We also know that he can knock down perimeter jump shots all the way out to that international three-point area.
Right.
So having him there with the experience that he's gained internationally in Australia as well as other places, we know that even with the layoff and whatever injury he has, as long as he gets his clearance, he will provide a lot of depth to this lineup and a lot of height and skill.
Yeah, Kai Soto has been in the news a lot for obviously his health. People want him to be healthy. He's already practiced recently with Gilas Pilipinas. The most recent report as of this morning was that he was able to train with the team alongside Scotty Thompson.
news.
So all 16 players are training. You take a look at Kai Soto here. You said that AJ Edu, a bit of a ceiling raiser. Is Kai Soto the same?
Oh, definitely. Figuratively and realistically, this guy raises the ceiling of the team just on a profile that, the Philippines has a player now that is so tall we can't just automatically throw the ball inside as was done against this team historically.
The last guy that you have on the list, we brushed by him a while ago, itong si Jamie Malonzo. Jamie
Right.
is one of the guys that a lot of the fans would be expecting to see based on what we've seen from him for Gilas Pilipinas in the past. Him being in your wish list might be one of the more sure choices based on what you've given. But you take a look at Jamie Malonzo, just how big can he be for this Gilas team in this type of tournament?
I think if Jamie plays up to his potential, and we've seen the leaps and bounds that this guy has made over the years. He came into the league as just a dunker,
Right.
not really a consistent outside shooter. But with the training that he's received at Ginebra from Coach Del Rosario over there on his shooting, he's improved that three-point shot. So you put together that athleticism with him being a 6'6", 6'7", and now we're able to compete athletically on the international stage with all of these athletes that are going to be running up and down the court. And he stretches the floor for
Right.
this Gilas team. And you can't just pack the paint anymore on this team because he has developed that shot and actually turned into a very, very consistent three-point shooter.
Well, of course, offense will be there. The fans will be waiting for what the offense can bring. But Coach Chot said they'll be focusing on defense. And a lot of these players can defend multiple positions.
Yes.
Talking about Jamie Malonzo as well. How important is that for this Gilas Pilipinas team, Coach?
Oh, we talked about versatility and to be able to be versatile defensively. Teams run ball screens. Every single international team will run ball screens. And they've done it so well that they are just surgeons out there on the court. Your schemes of blitzing it or your schemes of drop coverage may not always work.
Might be tricky.
You might have to resort to switching. You may have a guard like a Dwight Ramos matched up on a 7-footer. How are you going to deal with that? So having that positional versatility, guys that are used to defending multiple positions, will come into play, and it will be key for the success of this Gilas roster.
Because we're so nice to you, Coach Willie, we're not going to ask you for your full final 12. That might be too much. But before we let you go, you take a look at the rosters, you take a look at your own personal final 12. Who do you feel has the potential to have the biggest impact in this team amongst the local players, of course, excluding a Jordan Clarkson?
Well, I'd have to go with Kai Soto. I mean, just again, he has experience already playing against these international players. He's in the G League.
Great point.
In Summer League. So him having that experience and bringing it to the World Cup, it's not going to be a culture shock for him playing against much bigger opponents, much faster, or even players that are perceived to be more skilled.
Coach Willie, really appreciate you, your hair, your new gig.
Everything.
I know that you're hunting for a new cardigan. You're looking for sponsors. Look for Coach Willie Wilson. Really appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Coach.
guys.
We'll look back at your list once we see the final 12.
Yes, sir.
And after the break, we've got more sports stories with your favorite athletes on and off the court. Keep it here. You're watching The Game.
For the staging of Game Never Stops Manila in celebration of the spirit of the NBA.
Welcome back. You're watching The Game. When it comes to showing off the hoop culture beyond the court, no one does it better than Hennessy, the official spirit of the NBA. Check out our special behind-the-scenes look at their latest Game Never Stops event. Let's watch this.
From Xylo at the Palace for the staging of Game Never Stops Manila in celebration of the spirit of the NBA. Together with Hennessy.
Hey guys, I'm Pablo Del Rosario, and we are here at the latest NBA X Hennessy The Game Never Stops event in BGC. Let's go check out and see what it's all about.
The game never stops. So when you talk about game never stops, we all know basketball is played inside a basketball court inside a wooden floor. But the reality is the game doesn't stop on those four corners. You know, the game transcends off the court. So the way we speak, the way we dress, you know, the way we move. Actually, it's a lifestyle that we have. You know, basketball is part of our lifestyle. So that's why we say game never stops for Hennessy and NBA partnership. So for us, for Hennessy, it's all about promoting the off-court culture born out of the NBA.
They have special signature drinks for this night in particular. Have you enjoyed it? What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's super creative how they named it after teams and cities, and I am enjoying the Mission City one. So, masarap yung drinks and nakaka-inspire siya.
I love how serious the games are, and I love how competitive everyone is. And it's really special that there's a basketball game being played in silo. So it's a first. So yeah.
Yeah, of course, in this event I saw a lot of different faces, new faces, and as well as old friends, so I'm very happy with this event. And I also see this upside down basketball court, if you guys don't notice, but the whole event is fire, you know. I just want to thank Hennessy and NBA for inviting me here, and I'm excited to try to drink. I've been drinking
Absolutely.
jump shot ginger.
One more time, Silo, for your champions!
I don't think there was ever a basketball game here or a tournament, so I'm proud to say I'm the first winner in Silo. But in all honesty, you know, I'm really thankful for Hennessy for allowing me to be part of this. You know, not every day you get to be part of something so amazing and something with such a great community and such great people. So again, thank you so much to Hennessy.
Trina, ikaw yung captain. Tell us, how are we celebrating the win tonight?
We are gonna celebrate with that Henny! For everyone who wasn't able to attend tonight's Game Never Stop event, you missed out, guys! Stay tuned for a lot more bigger events. For NBA fans out there and art and culture lovers like me, just stay tuned.
Well, those are just some of the sights and sounds here at the Hennessy X NBA, the Game Never Stops event here in BGC. Remember, you can catch the latest in sports and lifestyle only on The Game. The championship was inspired by Derek Bingo. Maraming salamat. Now, more FIBA updates when we return. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. welcome back. You're watching The Game. The FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 is set to tip off on August 25 at the Philippine Arena. Now, here to give us updates and reminders is our very own attorney Charlie Cuna, who is a representative for the FIBA Local Organizing Committee. Attorney, welcome to The Game.
Welcome
this is your
to the
first
game,
time.
Exactly. You finally invited me on the show.
We finally can afford you, attorney. So, obviously, a lot of people are excited for the opening day. Could you give us a bit of a briefing on what can we expect come opening day sa Philippine Arena?
Well, it's going to be a big celebration, actually. It's going to be opening day at the Philippine Arena, the biggest venue. We want to break that record of 32,616. We want to set that, reset that record. We want everybody to come over. And there are different ways that you can go there and enjoy the experience. Philippine Arena, there's going to be a lot of booths. There's going to be a lot of entertainment. But they're going to open the gates early on that day. Normally, the opening of the gates is about an hour and a half before each game.
Right.
But on that day at 12 noon, bukas na ang Philippine Arena. They let people in the concourse. There's going to be food booths and all different types of entertainment. But they will open the actual bowl to enter for the spectators to enter about an hour and a half, so they can start filling the seats already to start trying to set that record. And then, of course, there's going to be lots of freebies.
Yeah.
There's going to be all lights and sounds. During the games, there's going to be giveaways, merchandise, interaction with between the fans. Jip will be there, the mascot for the event. And there's going to be karaoke. There's going to be some dance-offs. Right. You guys are going to be there. Paolo would love to be there to dance.
I'm there for the karaoke. No, not the dance-off, Jake. Say it.
Well, it's definitely going to be a unique experience, attorney. And for us to beat that record, people have to go there. And of course, parking arrangements will be explained by you. And of course, there's going to be a free shuttle for the fans that will be watching. Can you explain that to us, attorney?
Let's start with the shuttles because, if you don't bring your car, you don't need to park.
Yeah.
So we're encouraging everybody who has tickets for opening day to avail of the free shuttle services that are going to be had. There's going to be 400 buses deployed from a bunch of different strategic locations all over the metro. You have them Cloverleaf, Ayala Mall, all the way to Pasay, the Mall of Asia Arena. Daming SMs which are participating in this. You have Baliwag, Pampanga from the north, and then all the way from Mall of Asia Arena, Araneta City will have that as well. So all you need to do is show your ticket. You can sign up prior to that. There is a website that you can log in and register, choose which terminal you'd like to start from to head to the Philippine Arena. And then once you get there, present your ticket, whether it's an actual ticket or your e-ticket, and they're going to stamp your wrist before you enter the bus. After the games, it's the same procedure. The buses are going to be parked at the North Luzon Express Terminal, which is right there in the Philippine Arena compound. And then you get on the buses and you head back to where you started. So it's going to make it much easier for you.
Right.
Yeah, so we're going to show the link there in just a bit in terms of how they can secure those passes. But then another thing to watch out for here is what you can and cannot bring into the venue. Kasi hassle naman if you bring something you're not supposed to in the venue, attorney.
That's right. We don't want people to be asking questions and start haggling with the security at the entrances. So we're actually going to blast this, in all sorts of media platforms in the days to come, but we'll tell it to you already now. There's a list of things that are prohibited. Usually, if you've watched a PBA game, you guys know about this. There's a lot of things that you can't bring in. Of course, the usuals, explosives, drugs, alcohol, and all these things. Of course, camera equipment is not allowed. A certain level of media equipment that you cannot bring in because you're just a spectator.
Yeah.
You have to be accredited for that. You can bring in bags, but not more than, I think the measurement is 12 by 12. Anything bigger than that, you'd have to deposit. There's going to be a depositary for all these things that will not be allowed, but then you'd have to claim that after the game. So we're actually encouraging people not to bring anything, aside from your wallet and your cell phone, perhaps, to take the photos and then just record whatever you want, just to capture the moment. But if you can avoid bringing too many things which would complicate your entry into any of the venues, not just at the Philippine Arena, but even at the Mall of Asia Arena and the Smart Araneta Coliseum afterwards, that would be best. And one last thing, no smoking is allowed, whether it's actual cigarettes, vape, or e-cigarettes. Bawal po yan sa lahat ng venues for the FIBA Basketball World Cup here in Manila. So take note of that.
Well, definitely everyone's excited. The fans are going to be ready for that, attorney. And for you, how are the local organizing community? How ready are you guys? Final stretch na tayo and the World Cup's going to start, attorney.
It's been about a year and a half that we've been in preparation for all of this. The big tournament that's coming up, I think we're all set. President Al Palilio of the SBP already mentioned it, that he thinks everybody is ready. We're all prepared. There's, of course, a lot of nervous excitement from everybody in the LOC. But we're looking forward to the challenge of delivering the best World Cup ever right here in the Philippines. So handang-handa na po ang mga iba't ibang functional areas ng ating LOC. And let's do this together. Let's win for all.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Attorney Charlie, really appreciate you being here and giving us all of this information. And of course, we can't wait to have you back on the show to talk a lot more about FIBA basketball. Maraming salamat.
I'll be seeing you guys again.
Thank you, Attorney. The Bayanihan spirit of unity shines through the volunteers program as the FBWC 2023 kicks off at the Philippine Arena. Hundreds of dedicated volunteers will handle various roles from security to spectator services backed by top-notch training. With a focus on excellence and hospitality, they're set to deliver an unforgettable basketball experience embodying the heart of Bayanihan and Filipino warmth. Fans can watch and support Gilas Pilipinas and other participating countries in the FIBA 2023 World Cup from August 25 to September 10. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
Catch us weeknights here on One News and on the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch us live and/or our past episodes on demand for just 99 pesos a month, available for download on Google Play or the App Store. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.